Children cannot consent to sexual activity. It is people who are empowered by the law to take care of themselves and take care of responsibilities from sex that can be said to consent to sexual activity. Because we've had situations where children came to talk about abuse that happened to them, and adults say, see as they even talk about it, this pikin not spoil so you even know say that they chook something.
Hey there, teens and teens. Welcome back to another episode of For Adolescents by Adolescents, and we are your hosts. I'm Goshen, and
I'm Kufre.
And over here is our guest. Her name is
Dorothy Njemanze.
Okay, so she's the founder of the DNF organization, and she's going to be engaging with us today and talking with us, just letting us know some things that we as adolescents need to know.
And also, this session will be very fun and interactive because we'll be communicating with each other.
Okay, so that's the main deal. Today, the topic for today is body changes and sexuality education. So we're going to be learning about our body changes, puberty, sex, which most people like me don't really feel okay talking about. But okay, today I said we're going to buckle our belts and do this together. So dive right in with us and let's do it.
Let's start with the basics. Body changes during puberty. So, what are some of the common changes people experience as they grow?
As they grow, they get taller. That's the number one thing. The number one very physical thing. People can speak better. Babies start by babbling, ba ba ba, then dada. Go here. I want to drink tata. Then you know that tata is water, and then they speak better. Here that I used to say, I want to eat baby and fish. That's vegetable and fish. Good. So as the brain develops, speech is clearer. A lot, you can recognize better. You can describe what you recognize better. You can imitate sounds you have heard better. That's why from calling tata, you now say water, because you hear it more and more over time. The more you process those better, you make better sentences. You're able to communicate more. Now, initially, most of the communication is between babies and their parents. But as they refine their ability to communicate, they communicate more with their peers because they go to school, crèche or whatever, and then they communicate with the teachers. They communicate more with more members of society. And with each day, they are refining their ability to communicate.
Okay.
As they are doing it, they are eating food. And the more they are eating food, they are growing. The quantity of food that a baby at birth can consume is really very, very tiny because their stomach is small. But the more they eat, in fact, the way they burp when they finish eating, their system rejects some of the food and all of that. But the more you grow, the more your system expands and can take in food, and everybody can still tell what their levels are. There's the point where there's the inquisitive nature of the babies to want to start feeding themselves because they feel they are growing. They feel they can see what you are doing, so them too they can do. Somebody I know says that monkey hear, monkey say. Their monkey see, monkey do. So they do only what they see you do. It's easy to copy what they see you do. Have you people seen a baby before?
Yes.
Have you carried a baby before?
Yes.
You've interacted with a baby before?
Yes.
Okay. You've tried to talk to a baby before and the baby didn't answer you because the baby was a baby. And then some of them answered you or tried to answer you, so you can relate with what I'm saying.
Yes.
So all these changes continue as people grow. Remember, the ability to understand things, communicate increases. People get into primary school, they learn some things from friends, they learn some things from teacher, they learn some things from church or mosque, they learn from different places, and they apply it in life as they grow. And the growing continues. With a show of hand, how tall would you say a baby is?
Let's see. That's true. Let's see maybe this tall.
That's a toddler.
Okay.
Like,
But the baby will be lying down.
Will be lying down.
Yes, will be lying down.
Okay. So how long did it take for you to go from that size you showed to the current size height you are? What's your current height?
I
With
don't
a
know.
show of hand.
I don't
Uh,
know. Maybe I don't know how to describe it. What should be the
really high.
difference?
Good. So how long did it take for you to grow? How many years?
Let's say it should be 15 years or so.
Good. And in the 15 years, different things have happened year in, year out. Each birthday, you're a different height and you're still growing and all of that. And so there are different features that evolve. Oh, by the way, if you say babies, you can't take passport photograph of a baby because their faces keep changing.
Mm.
But when they're about 6 months, thereabouts, the features are more constant because at the first few months, we are not really
So
sure,
people really
you
understand.
know, exactly. Different things keep coming out and all of that. And so that's how the human body is. And it keeps evolving, it keeps developing, and it continues that way. I'm using babies because it's easier for us to see the changes happening with babies. It's also easier for you to figure out, like, wait a minute, I was once like this, but now I'm like this. So, how did it happen? And in the same vein, you are still growing. As you continue growing, we don't know whether you will have bald head. We don't know whether she will have bald head before you. Yeah, yeah. Men and women have bald head. We don't know. But the more you grow, the more things happen. Sometimes it's an accident, and the scar it leaves, makes you look a particular kind of way. We don't know how it's going to happen, but different things just keep happening to you. So the more you mature, your voice, remember we started with clarity in messaging, then your biological features now kick in. For boys, the
Your
voice
voice
cracks
becomes
and
deeper.
becomes deeper. For girls, certain features starts popping up. The breasts starts um
Develop.
well, it's all developed. All of it is developing, but the breasts actually become more visible. Every day of your life you're developing. That's the truth. Your buttocks actually, for some people, gets bigger. Is the truth. Now, some boys' buttocks will get bigger than some girls' buttocks.
True.
So it's not written anywhere. At the age of 10, if I ask the both of you who was taller by age 10, it may be difficult for you to figure out because both of you were sleeping, both of you were eating, both of you were doing different things. But as human beings, not all fingers are equal. And that's how all of us don't grow at the same pace. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's different for different people, but we all mature. That's the important thing we should take note of. And however we mature, we need support of the people who have matured before to guide us. Unfortunately, some people decide to use that opportunity to become perpetrators instead of guiding people aright. And that's why with the child not bride campaigns, we say things to men like, give her a pen, let her write, don't give her your penis, and all those kind of things. Because people take unfair advantage of people, of children, of adolescents, because adolescents need guidance. And so the fact that you're beginning to develop, maybe you have now started wearing bra because your breast is growing bigger, or you have started wearing singlet because you are sweating more, and singlet helps you to absorb a lot of the sweat
Sweat.
around your armpits so that it doesn't touch your dress. Oh, that's also the same idea. Oh, you didn't think about it like before. That's also the same idea with bras and the singlets that we wear, the inner wears that we wear. Sweat touches them first and it absorbs them, and you see that many of them are cotton. So it absorbs the sweat so that your dress looks dry more. You see? So the fact that people are beginning to do those things, does it mean you have the experience of me that has been doing that for the past 20 years? No. And that's why it's important for you to understand how you're evolving, possibly what new things you'll be expecting. Girls begin to menstruate. When they are menstruating, what's the best way to handle a girl that is menstruating? Are there consequences for menstruating? Yes. If there's any sexual contact, the person who has started menstruating can
Can
get
get
pregnant.
pregnant.
Now, some people start menstruating from 8 years old. Some people start menstruating from 12 years old, 10 years old,
15.
15 years old. So you see, it's different people mature at different stages. And so you now need to know it's not okay to shame people. because they are growing at their pace. It's not okay to make anybody feel uncomfortable, and it's our duty to support everybody, irrespective of their pace. We should leave no one behind. So, also, when some babies are born, some are born blind, some are born without limbs, no hands, no legs.
With
So, yeah,
difficulties.
different kinds of difficulties. Some people have a lot of health defects, hole in the heart, all of that. But they are still human beings. And it's our duty to support them as human beings. And that's the same way the support needs to continue as adults. So, I hope I've spoken to changes that people say. So many times, what makes it uncomfortable is the fact that you're focusing on changes as adolescents, changes as adolescents. But now I've taken you to the fact that we've watched the changes evolve right from when people were babies. It makes you feel more comfortable to say, oh, so this is actually a thing. We don't know how this is going to go. And then sometimes you have flat tummy as you're growing. But because you're not exercising right, or you're overeating, or when you see your money, you start getting money, different things happen. Sometimes it's your body type, sometimes it's hereditary from your family. You now start having pot belly.
But people like me exercise it out.
That is what you say now. Practice in life is what is going to tell me what I mean. See, I was I was one of the contestants for Miss Imo in 2021. So when some people see me now, they're like, "Oh, you're so fat! Oh, you're so fat!" But I mean, life happens and life keeps happening. And life happens to us in so many ways. Sometimes it's pregnancy that makes people gain weight. Sometimes it is depression or anxiety that makes people gain weight or lose weight or whatever it is. So there are different things that interface with us. But definitely, as long as we eat, we will keep growing. Sometimes we be growing upwards, upwards, upwards. When we finish growing upwards, we start growing,
Down.
expanding. No, expanding sideways. Fat, 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 fat. So um, those are primarily the things. And then as you're growing, your neck before is long. When you start growing sideways, the neck will not start folding. It will now not be looking as long as it was looking. And when it doesn't look as long as it was looking, you now start talking about maybe sweat will be lodging in the lines of your neck. You can see lines on your neck. You can see lines on his neck. But now the neck is like that. If you now start eating too much, these lines will now be closer to each other and sweat can lodge there. And so some people, when they don't take care of themselves, those are where others come from. But now, as younger people, we can just see that these are possible places that can, become extra neck in future. However, you don't have much to stress about because there's access to air every time, unlike people who it's closed. So every part of your body that meets another part of your body, when you're taking your bath, you actually need to focus on those places and wash particularly, because the smell under your armpit is different from the smell of your elbow. Your elbow has access to more air than your armpits, you see. And that's how every other part of your body that meets any other part that touches each other. Your neck, you have extra neck. And there's nothing wrong with it. The belly, when it starts growing sideways, they say it's love handle, extra, flesh on the sides, or your teacup handle. Or you don't like
I
it?
don't like it.
Nobody's asking whether you like it, but some people's bodies are going to be like that. And sometimes what will make you like that is, the process of pregnancy.
But Mas, like I thought with measures, adequate measures and like exercises, because I've always believed in like having those fats or belly fats or anything like that, doing exercises and other stuff to make it go back.
Yes, it can, but it's different strokes for different folks. So it's like for some people, when they're pregnant or when they have some kind of sicknesses, there's compulsory bed rest. If you are to do compulsory bed rest for up to 9 months or 5 months, you are sitting in one place, you are eating, and they are doing that bed rest compulsorily to save your life. In those moments, your area of focus is not how fat you can get, it's staying alive. So growing is a physical thing, growing is a mental thing, growing happens in multiple dimensions, but by all means, as people grow, it's important to recognize how growth affects you as a person, and how growth affects the people around you, and how growth affects the environment. So if you're growing as a child and you throw your toys around, adults may be there to pick it up for you. as a toddler. But as you keep growing, you're expected to learn to put your toys in the right place. And if you have that habit, as you grow, you're better bound to make your bed by yourself, arrange your environment by yourself. But if you don't have those habits, then you can explain why people feel free throwing trash on the road and all those kind of things. So it's developmental and it's applicable. So those principles you pick from childhood affect you later in life. Good. And that is where things like respecting boundaries come in, consent, all those kind of things, principles. You pick the right principles on time, and then it will help you later in life. But it's important to know the principles. So as you're growing, you recognize, oh, this person doesn't want to play with me now. This person wants to play with me now. Why does this person not want to play with me? This person doesn't look happy. This person looks sad. I should respect the fact that what I'm doing is offending this person, and these are very important basic relationship things that happen with your relationship with your parents, relationship with your siblings, relationships with your friends, relationships with people you do not know now, but they're very basic things. And all of it, starts by what people are taught from when they are babies, and it just continues refining and refining as we grow. So there's physical growth, there's psychological growth. Should I also say spiritual growth? Because so many times, a lot of the things we hear that are spiritually inclined are those things that will make us say, yes, times are tough, but I'm not going to give up in Jesus' name. So that extra thing that you're able to use to drive yourself, maybe when temptations come, you can activate it also to, to ginger you to stay the course.
So I cover my eye with the blood of Jesus.
Well, that one too, they work. But when you finish covering with the blood of Jesus, if you don't see what you're supposed to avoid, how you want to ignore, as you go take avoid them. You've got there, you need to jump past the gutter. You need to know how to spread your leg to jump past the gutter. You land inside the gutter. You see?
Okay. That's important because a lot of people compare themselves to others, which can cause unnecessary stress.
Absolutely.
Now, apart from body changes, there are also emotional changes. It's not just physical changes, there are emotional ones too. So, why do some people feel mood swings or new emotions during this stage?
So I mentioned, okay, so the very first time when I was talking and I said something about, was it breast or buttocks? The first thing she did was she started feeling shy. Right? You see, she has started again. Exactly. Now, some people are more comfortable to speak about certain things than other people. And it's okay. Some people need to ease into some things. Some people do not need to ease into some things. Right? So your question is about emotional changes, right?
Yes.
We grow at different levels. Different things appeal to us differently. And so it's important for us to recognize that since we don't all grow together. I mean, check your fingers again.
They're not equal.
Which two are exactly the same?
None.
No.
Like
Okay.
they're all different lengths.
Which two are closer?
Yes, too.
Which one?
Not
Not this one and this one. Look at their length.
okay. Yes.
But it's been on your hand since, and you didn't notice it. You understand? So it happens differently for different people, and different things trigger different emotions. So some people have really very nasty experiences. So I'll give you an example. We're going to the markets. For me, those people who keep touching people and saying my color, and they pull your hand. Sometimes they press your breast, they press your buttocks in the name of saying my color, Those things make a lot of people feel traumatized and want to avoid going to the markets. But what is, if you're asked what is a good, what are the characteristics of a good adolescent, you want to say you help adults around you to run errands. One of the errands you're expected to run is going to the market. So how do you navigate that thing that makes you feel violated and uncomfortable, and the need for the market, which is going to get food and basic supplies? And so it means you need to be able to have a support system you can reach out to speak up about, look, something happened and I don't feel good about it. Can these people be arrested? Can something be done about it? So that the market will function for me as it is intended to function for people. You understand? So I've made us understand that something as normal and okay as going to the market can be a triggering factor because of one thing or the other.
One man's food is another man's trash.
Well, there's a tendency for some people to cross boundaries. And when people cross boundaries, especially because you're adolescents, they expect you to keep quiet and not speak up about it. And that's why there's a lot of deliberate conversations around empowering adolescents to speak up about rights they see and wrong they see, and know why they're speaking up and how to do it. So with emotions, different things affect our emotions. If your home is a place where you see violence, you will not feel
Free.
excited about going home. Some people's homes are like that. And if you check in your class, you would find that some people are more eager to go home than others are. And that is how everybody's emotions are different. Some people, going to church has given them a bad experience. Going to the market has given a bad experience. Going to school has given a bad experience. It's important to be sensitive to the fact that because of some people's bad experiences, they're bound to shape their mindsets a particular kind of way or resist some particular kind of things. But it's our duty to find a balance every time. So because somebody has been assaulted or violated in some way heading to the market, and the person chooses to carry a knife in the person's pockets, does it normalize or make carrying knife okay? If you feel the need to use the knife now, police will now come and arrest you and say, why did you even carry knife? But they will not recognize that it is trauma that made you to prepare for it.
This saying, like, people should have something that
to protect themselves.
Yes, like there was this lady, there was a day, my mom told me this story actually. So she was like, I think she was going to the market, and then someone wanted to come and steal her bag, but then on her scarf she put a pin there. So, and the person was dragging it from her. She was shouting, nobody wanted to help her, so she now had to
help herself.
Yes,
it's important. So I mean, it's survival. It's self-defense. Yeah, it's self-defense, and it's always good to have something. Your pen is one of the things that can come handy for you in so many ways. Your pen, accessories. So a lot of accessories that females wear are actually designed, well, let me not say are designed for that purpose, but are worn intentionally to support them should anything arise. And on the road, if both of you are walking on the road in the market, these people that call people to buy things from them, between both of you, who are they most likely to press the person's bum as the person is going?
Me.
Why not him?
Because he's a boy.
So they feel that it's easy to prey on girls.
Yes.
Not just that, because if they try it, I might react in a very harsh way.
Good. So that also comes down to feeling it's easier to prey on girls than prey on boys. Mm-hmm. You understand? And so walking on the road, you may not think about what extra things you should carry on yourself to need to protect yourself. But you can see, even from her conversation, even her mom has told her with example of why it is important to protect herself on the road. Has your mom told you that?
She has. I normally even carry a knife with me.
Okay. All right. Because area is scatter, area is rough. You understand? Anything can happen. The need for self-defense. But you would understand that females are more susceptible to violent attacks than males, right? And so the emotions, if you people are walking on the road and you hear, hey, the first thing that will come to your head is, is it armed robbers? Is it rapists? Your own maybe, is it armed robbers? But chances that it's area boys. But chances rapists will come to your mind are very little. Do you understand? And so,
but even now there are people, like there are lesbians that actually rape boys and all of that. So that it's more like both are not safe, both genders are not safe, but still it's maybe more like the girls and females are prey, kind of.
Well, lesbians would be females who have sexual activities with females.
Okay,
You
then gay.
understand? Well, you mustn't. It's not so. I constantly contest the fact that it is gay people that rape boys. Yes, gay people rape boys, but explain why people rape babies.
Oh, okay, I heard of this too.
It's not because they are female babies or male babies. It's power. They're exploiting vulnerability. Do you understand? That's why people go that way. It's not everybody who has raped a boy that is doing it because the person is gay. The boy may be a vulnerable human being, and this person. So there's this horrible thing some men say. They say all hole na hole, and I say no, all hole no be hole. But anybody who has that mentality of all hole na hole, if he doesn't see you to rape and he sees you, he will rape you. Not because
He's in me.
yes, it's not because of
His
any,
gender.
but to him, all hole na hole, and that is a very horrible mentality. And people who have that mentality don't distinguish between children and adults. For them, it is what? All whole na whole. And I say, no, that's wrong.
Because I actually recently heard a story of, is it a man that raped a baby? I was very little, and I think they were trying to jail him or something. When I heard it, I was like, "There's
What's the
nothing."
attraction?
Yes, there's nothing I'm looking for there. So why it's so people were like, "He's
the
a
baby,
monster."
the baby
he's
will
this."
not be able to talk about the details, and that is why the baby is a perfect target. And that's why we need to ensure that there are high safeguarding plans and everything in our environment all the time. To safeguard children, safeguard babies, safeguard everybody that is vulnerable in every way. And so all these triggering factors, some people, if they hear a loud sound somewhere, have you perceived tear gas before?
No.
Look at.
No, I have.
Yeah, I
It has
know.
made me dizzy.
It's made you dizzy. This person has
I
not
haven't.
perceived tear gas before. So for people like us that know tear gas, once you perceive tear gas, whatever it was that made you, or even if you hear there is tear gas there, you've experienced it before. This one's not experienced it before. You understand? Exactly. So different things trigger our emotions or affect our emotions different ways. Some things are enticing to us. Oh, they are pleasing to us and we look forward to it. And in the name of looking forward to it, we look forward to going to an amusement park. You now go to an amusement park, something right or something wrong happens to you. So different things affect our emotions, and it's important to know that because we are different human beings.
And the aspect of menstruation.
Mhm.
So why do you think like boys should also be educated about it, and then on puberty and growing body changes, like the mental effects? Because growing up, it's supposed to be a good thing that you are developing, you're getting older, you're getting matured, but some people get depressed. So my question there is, for those people that get depressed, what would be your encouragement to them? And like, what is that standing word that you would tell them that, okay, this is your body and you shouldn't be afraid of it, or it shouldn't have any effect on your mental health?
Well, menstruation is part of life. Menstruation is it's part of the biology of females, and so it is what it is. There's not much we can do to change it. Anybody that shames other people for menstruating is a bully, is a criminal, and I think deserves punishment from God, because it is God that designed that process. Why God designed that process like that? God could have come up with a different way of setting the female biology, to produce children, but God decided that was what to do. So I think whoever is doing that is insulting God. May God's punishments never miss the person with an amen. Yeah. And so everybody else, even with boys, there are parts of boys' biology that are unique to them. For instance, the issue of wet dreams that boys have. What if we go about shaming all the boys that have wet dreams and say, what's the difference between you and people that pee on the bed? Do you understand? In fact, there was a situation of adolescent boy that I know about, that the mother say it's like my child is having sex with mommy water in a dream and all those kind of things, because if not, that's
It be
why
on the bed.
what is making what is even making you have an erection in the first instance. But this is biology. Is part of growth. You understand? And then sometimes your body, you find out another thing about your body, like you just found out about your own body today now. Your two fingers, the ones that are most up, you understand? You find out something about your body and you're excited, like, oh, why didn't I know about this before? You see, you're still looking at your finger. So sometimes some people are looking at themselves like, oh, wow, my breast is growing, and they are focusing on it a whole lot more, trying to get used to the new them. And so that's also how sometimes where dreams start. Some people want to know, oh, they focus on it a little more. Menstruation starts. There's a fixation on menstruation to know, wow, so what next after this? So how do I carry myself? How do I carry myself? Which sanitary pad works better? Those are the different things that people that come up at different times. So at the same time, everybody who menstruates, no big deal. You keep doing it until you're not doing it again. But if you're in pain, there are ways that you can be helped. If you're not in pain, just continue doing it. If anybody is making you feel bad about it, reach out to the Dorothy Njemanze Foundation. We make the person feel bad, because nobody should make you feel bad for things that are not, that are beyond your control. It's like making a person with disability to feel bad because the person is a person with disability. So when you say disabled, if I disable this, it becomes useless. But disability, this has ability to do this, but it doesn't have ability to do that. Sometimes it's a temporary disability, sometimes it's a permanent disability. So even the things we say and the way we say them could build or make or break the people hearing it. And sometimes we do it unintentionally. But I always say that more importantly than whatever we do wrong is how quickly we fix it and what we do to fix it.
Okay, so for me, sex education was like I was given the topic. It's educating people like me who don't usually talk about it, about the dangers, the causes, things you should look out for, how like you should be aware and all of that. So like I would like you to take it up from there and define sex education to us in your own terms.
With sex education, most of the time, focus is biology. Your reproductive and physical aspects of your sexual organs, getting to know a little more of it. The approach to sex education most of the time talks about, the risk of sex, whether it's important to avoid sex or to abstain from sex, or how to engage with sex, and the goal most times with sex education is preventing pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. Now, sexuality education, on the other hand, which is also called comprehensive sexuality education, is a holistic approach covering puberty, body image, emotions, relationships, and rights. And the approach is to address sexual identity, sexual orientation, pleasure, and communication. So how the growth of the things you learned in sex education, how you recognize them, how other people in society recognizes them, how it affects the environment, how you communicate about them, and other allied matters, other things that come from them, right? And the primary goal with comprehensive sexuality education most times is empowering individuals to make informed decisions, build healthy relationships, and understand their sexual health. So one focuses on letting you know your developments and what is happening with you. The other one recognizes the interaction between what is happening with you and what is happening with this person, because both of you are growing, both of you are evolving. In 10 years' time, you may want to be a particular thing, and by 5 years to that time, you take a different route. But either ways, it's okay. And whatever makes you to take the route, whether it is what you want to be now or what you want to be then, how you evolve in life is fine. And it's important that these things happen. So when this child, remember we started with talking about babies and all of that. One of the easiest things to do to teach children about themselves. So sex education, comprehensive sexuality education should be age appropriate. That's what at different ages, you teach different people different things. When baby starts, this my name is, you tell them the name. The next thing you do, parts of the body. This is my head. This is my shoulder. This is my elbow. Then some people have made the very horrible decision to tell baby boys, for instance, that their penis is banana. What is banana for? Consumption. So when a perpetrator comes and tells the baby boy, bring your banana, let me eat. Do you see how easy? So this is how perpetrators access children, access the vulnerability of children. Or you tell them your vagina is cherry, or it's your donut. Those things are not donut. Those things are for consumption. Please, vagina is vagina. It's part of your body. You understand? Somebody I know and I respect a lot has children, and one of the days when she was taking her bath, no, she was bathing the two children, the boy and the girl. The boy is older than the girl. The girl says, "Mommy, when the boy is peeing, you let him stand up, but you try to make me to bend down to squat when I'm peeing. Why? Am I not your child?" So children will keep asking questions, and the reason for that definitely is because of the way their organs or their biology is. You understand? The pee will splash more if a girl stands peeing. The pee is better controlled because of the shape of the penis. And the penis routes it a particular direction, but the girl, it's easier for you to squat to control the pee, right? And so if you don't make people comfortable enough, and these children were about under 6 years old, the two of them, but they're trying to discover themselves, age appropriate information. So you hear a lot of children at that age say, but the girls in my class don't have penis. They're discovering themselves. You have taught the boys that it's their penis. In fact, my very little human being said, in fact, I think that day I freaked out. The day he discovered he has a penis. So every time he's eating food, if he sees bone in the food, he say, "Mama, please remove the bone for me." Or if he's eating and he feels bone, he'll bring it out and give me, for me to remove the bone and then give him back to eat. That's how he came and said, "Hey, Mama, I saw another bone. Oh, please bring a knife and cut it off." I said, "Where did you see the bone?" And he pointed at the penis. I said, "That is not a bone." He said, "It's a bone, that it is strong. It is a bone." And that is the idea. So that is like chicken neck.
Hey.
But you don't blame the person. So with chicken neck, I say, eat the flesh around it and leave the bone for me. So this person eats the flesh around the chicken neck and gives me the bone. He said, "Carry this bone. I saw bone on my body." And I had to start saying, "No, this is not bone. You pee from this one. This is the only bone that you are permitted to guard with your life. Okay?" And then we now started having conversations around that. And that was how the person knew the name as penis. I'm talking about 2 years old, 3 years old. But it is important to let people know the truth about their bodies. I've been in situations where children came to court and the children need to speak in court because of violation that was done to them. And then a child said, "Uncle Ekaite put his bum in my bum." To this person, he removed his dress. So whatever he had under his dress is called bum. What comes to your mind when you hear bum? Your butt, right? So she has been told that everything down there, when you remove your dress, is bum. How possible is it that an adult puts bum in a child's bum? So on grounds of technicalities in courts, a lot of perpetrators have gone scot-free. Please teach children the right things. It is not bum in the bum. It's penis and then the backside bum, so that it's easy to differentiate. Then auntie. No. Instead of calling everybody auntie and uncle, you will call the people by first name, so that if there's a problem, I will know where the problem is. Then when the child has grown, the child can decide to call you Miss this or Mr. That.
Maybe like auntie. They're
It's
not your
auntie.
and
Auntie
uncle.
touch me. Which auntie? That auntie now. Then you look around and you are seeing 15 aunties. Which of them? You understand? So at that point, this is where you give children opportunity to speak about, to learn about themselves and speak about themselves without judgment. The same people I spoke about, something about the boy waited until the mother went into the bathroom and then he opened the door and came in and saw her sitting on the toilet seat. I said, hey, why is it that you are sitting on the toilet seat but you don't let me to sit on the toilet seat? You tell me to stand and pee. Remember what I said about monkey see, monkey do? Children want to do what their parents are doing because they don't want to see it as wrong. And then she now started explaining that, oh, she doesn't have a penis. She has a vagina. And so if she can't squat the way the younger sister squats, she has to sit on the toilet seat. This thing gave the boy serious concern. And so he waited for the mother to go into the toilet. And then he barged into the place when he was sure she was in the toilet. Perfect timing. The curiosity of children is valid, but it is important for us as adults or as people who are, more developed than them to guide them aright. You understand? Yes. And so I've spoken now to, it's not when he barges in like that, you go and beat him first and all those kind of things. There are so many issues. There's the issue with him barging in, then there's the issue that made him barging. If you address one and leave the other one, he'll go and look for information elsewhere and he may get the wrong information. So it's important to recognize that for as long as we evolve, even elderly people, when people are in their 80s and 90s, should they be having sex? They are still adults. They may decide to have sex. Yes, but who are they having sex with? And sometimes, because they are very vulnerable, they usually have somebody guiding them or somebody taking care of them. We remove our eyes. Sometimes the people taking care of them are sexually violating them. But shame does not let them to speak to us. So there are different, as long as we are human beings and we have emotions and we have feelings, sex can arise. But no matter how it arises, children, people under 18 are totally off limits. And then by the time you're 18 and above, what are the choices that you should make? What are the choices you can make? The ABCs, abstinence, what's the B? And then the C is condomize. So that if you decide to engage, make sure you're engaging from a place of safety, right?
Protection.
And exactly, protection. So for what it's worth, that's how life is. Food is important. We ate food yesterday. We're going to eat food today. We'll eat food tomorrow. Sex is important because it helps to bring life. It creates life, right? It's a tool for recreation and reproduction. But it's not all sex that leads to that. However, it can lead to that. And so we need to ensure that whoever is participating in it is consenting to it. Children cannot consent to sex. Child's Rights Act states that children are people under 18 years old. So no law, no tradition, no religion can tell you that, it is okay to have sex with anybody under 18. The people under 18 cannot vote or be voted for. So they should not be had sex with. You can't open accounts for those people without guidance.
But also the people outside, like the countries, some other countries, not all, they allow people under 18, like 16 thereabouts, to do so. So
to do what in particular?
To have sex. So would you say
the people that are supposedly that you think are allowed to have sex, are they allowed to open bank accounts? So if sex can produce a baby and you take away everything that empowers me from taking care of the baby that sex can produce, is it not an unfair start? If you tell everybody it's time for a race, on your marks, everybody stays, and you say, no, Kufre, face backward. Other people are facing the front. You say, Kufre, face backward. Put one hand behind you, and you are only permitted to hop. Go! Other people take off. Kufre has to turn first and join.
And start hopping.
And continue hopping. Is it fair?
Yeah.
So that's what is done to children that people claim, or just the justification of sex with children. It's unfair. It is rape. Children cannot consent to sexual activity. It is people who are empowered by the law to take care of themselves and take care of responsibilities from sex that can be said to consent to sexual activity. So anything short of that, anybody having sex with children, anybody under 18, is a rapist. Full stop.
A criminal.
Yes.
And needs to
And
be
the government keeps failing children until the government ensures that every religion, culture, or whatever
Excuse me.
excuse, that encourages people to have sex with children is abolished.
Okay, so Ma, I was going to ask you like the perfect age to teach people or children or adolescents about sex education, because like if it can be under 6 or thereabout, because there's this boy kind of that I would I say a bit know of. I wasn't told the story, but I overheard it. So the person that usually takes care of him, like baths him, when they go into the restroom, she'll start, I don't know, she'll
She does inappropriate things to him.
inappropriate things. So sometimes after he'll be like, "Mommy, my this thing is scratching me, it's paining me." The mom will always be wondering what it is, until there was a day, okay, after she installed cameras in the house, she now discovered that it was the house help that would
was
call the boy
violating him.
and tell him
And
to
was
ring. Yes,
violating
I was
him.
violating him.
Okay, so I said something about food and the need to eat food frequently, and that shows the possible need for adults to have sex, or the possible opportunities. It can happen anytime, right? But they're adults, and so adults are different. Sex education, comprehensive sexuality education, age appropriate information is given. First of all, this is the name of my body, this is the body parts. Then when people start, when as the child grows, at a point you start letting them to clean themselves up. You understand? So some of the perpetrators that have had access to children that I know of said, what's smelling here? Open your bum bum, come, let me see if it is clean. And then they now started doing another thing. So when children know their private parts, children should also be encouraged to declare who has access to their private parts. Uncle, this person cleaned me up today. Auntie, this person cleaned me up today. This is how it should feel if somebody is cleaning you. Anything different from what I'm doing that somebody does to you in the name of cleaning you, tell me. Do you understand? Now, if that person says you will enter trouble, you tell the child you will never enter trouble, okay? The worst trouble you can enter is with me, and you will never enter trouble. I will not be angry with you, okay? And you leave it like that.
Was it okay? Some days ago, so I was in my church. Then the mother, there was a woman. I know her. She has two children, but the smallest one is around like almost 3. And then she told me to help her take him to the restroom to go and use himself. By the time we got there, I was trying to. He wasn't. I was trying to help him, but no. He said, So I said, okay. I carried him back to his mom and said, "Ma, he didn't allow me, so maybe you should just take him yourself." So, like, maybe in that case, I don't know if he was taught, but
had
he
been
already
taught,
knew that
exactly.
nobody
You didn't
else
feel comfortable.
with me.
And then as you grow, you also start feeling shy when certain things happen, because everybody must have felt that stage. You don't want to appear in your undies, for people to see and all of those kind of things. Well, even though by the time you become adolescent, I start thinking that your body's good. You're now looking for how to be in undies and rub oil on your body and do modeling and all those kind of things. And that's a different ball game altogether. But that's something you consent to. So age appropriate information is something that is very important and we must never forget. So first of all, this is the name of your body part. These are your private areas. This is good touch and bad touch. Very important. Good touch and bad touch. Then people now come and tell adolescents that as long as you're not be me off your pants, you no fit carry belle, so go off your pants and then come and meet me. Yes,
No,
good. And that is why harmful myths that make perpetrators access and violate people is important to address, especially when adolescents evolve.
So, Ma, at what age? What age appropriate age would you advise?
I'm telling you, all these things are related. So when people know good touch and bad touch, if you touch a child wrongly, they report you immediately. and then you know that, oh, bad touch has been happening to this person. So that good touch, bad touch, you give more information as people grow, a whole lot more information. So from good touch and bad touch, from name of the body to good touch and bad touch, to declare everybody that baits you or sees you or what the person said. So if the child comes back and says, oh, Auntie so person or Miss so person helped me to clean up when I pulled, and this is what the person did. The person told me to use water, but I'm used to using tissue. Encourage children to give details. That way there are no gray areas. Then the more they grow, they start noticing that they are growing themselves. You didn't brush your mouth well. Do the breath test. And then you breathe in to see if your mouth is smelling. When you wake up from sleep, you do the breath test and all of that. You're sweating, you're smelling. As they grow, they play. It becomes more obvious. Go and take your bath. So it is all geared at understanding yourself as you're evolving, And then, there's something called sex. How do children come into the world? It is through something called sex, but sex is done only by adults. Then the more people grow, by the time menstruation starts, there's no how you're going to miss telling a girl about sex. And if you're telling an 8-year-old girl about sex, it means 8-year-old boys would know that there is something called sex. Because in the class of the 8-year-old girl, there are 8-year-old boys.
Yeah, she's discussing with another person, an 8-year-old boy can hear it.
So it means by 8 years old, children know that there's something called sex. And it should happen between adults. So if an adult comes to try and make you to have sex with them, don't agree. So a lot of perpetrators will now come and say, oh, it's not sex we are having. It is just something fun.
Okay.
Good.
I didn't tell you.
So good. No, well, as you're growing, you know a lot more information. Then by the time that 8-year-old is in primary 6, thereabout, or primary 5 or 6, 4, 5, 6. Yes. But towards around that age, the biology, your biology lessons or integrated science or basic science. It used to be integrated science in my time, so now it's basic science for you. But anatomy, human anatomy. In human anatomy, parts of the body is repeated with diagram. So in human anatomy, after human anatomy, you now go to the different parts. Digestive system, respiratory system, reproductive system. That is why these things are taught in junior class, junior secondary school, and sometimes towards the end of primary school. But the one towards the end of primary school is just a little. But you now go into more details in junior secondary school. And then by the time you go to senior secondary school, you're discussing even more complex details about these things,
Maybe in our class now, when our biology teacher comes inside and she says it's time for biology, and then we start discussing about reproductive system, our classmate, the boys, should first go and lock the door so that no junior students will enter inside and overhear it.
Why?
Because most of them are sports. Most of them, they know more than their age.
What is more than their age? There's nothing, you can't control it. So let me ask you a question. How many rooms are in your house?
2.
How many rooms are in your house? 4. Do you know in some people's houses, there's only one room? Father, mother, and children are in the one room. And it's not one child, children. Where did the parents stay to have the sex that produced the child? Is it not in the same room? So they manage themselves. Sometimes we have heard children say things like they overheard their parents. But you may not be able to relate with that. However, all of you are in the same school. Do you understand? So when you say somebody is spoiled, the person may just be a little more exposed to certain things than you.
Oh man, sometimes they might not actually even be in the same room. But imagine they were doing that and they did not lock the door. And
the
maybe
child
probably they don't lock the door because the child might have a nightmare or something. Then child walked in and then
so there are different situations, but whatever the situation is, that idea of children as fault is a big problem. I have a problem with it because we've had situations where children came to talk about abuse that happened to them, and adults say, see, as they even talk about it, this speaking not spoil it. So you even know that they took something, Hey, picking you don't spoil it. Who will come marry this one now? I don't think that anybody is fault. I think it's the amount of information they have, and it's our duty to guide people aright. And if we try to create a taboo system around, then it makes people more inquisitive. If you don't want me to do something, don't tell me about it, because that thing you tell me, I will investigate it. That's you say don't do this. What if you say don't do this because of this or that, then we have an understanding because you have explained yourself to me. But you just come. Are you trying to think that I am a less human being or something that
I'm
I should not do
subjected
this?
to you.
What's wrong? No, I could be. But what is that thing that makes you feel I'm not capable of doing this? Do you do this? Okay, maybe you do it and you're telling us today, are you okay? I will investigate it. And I'm a very inquisitive person like that. Yeah. I always tell people, even when you're talking to children, do this for this reason. If people don't know the why, then they're not convinced. It becomes like the story of the child who was standing at the back of the car, and the father says, "Sit down." And the child says, "But I prefer standing, I can see the road better." The father says, "If I slap you, you will sit down." The child sat down and said, "Daddy, even though I'm sitting down, in my mind, I'm standing up." So the why is what helps people to shape convictions. I'm convinced that I should sit down so that I will not break my mouth, so that this will not happen. Do you understand? And so let's tell people why instead of saying, shush, go away. But age appropriate information is important. Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you like to give to young people experiencing body changes?
Body changes, it's okay. Some of us will be horrible. Some of us will be pelenge. Some of us will be langa langa.
Supposed to be medium, normal.
And medium big, medium small, medium. It's not cast in stone, but whoever you are, please be the best version of you. The best version of you is measured by the quality of human being in you. The basic principles that you imbibe in life are the best things that will make the quality of human being in you adorable, admirable, or not. So if you grow up being a bully, people like me, I kind of hate you. Yes.
People like me can't believe
the law also will hate you and you're going to go to jail. If you grow up being a nice person, and you know how, being nice and kind are different. As a nice person, oh, you look good. Mm-hmm. But as a kind person, oh, you look good, but your mouth is smelling. Because you have given the person information that can help the person to fix a problem. So a kind person would always tell the truth at all times, would figure out the best way to communicate at all times. And if you're in trouble, or if you don't know how to navigate well, I know that the Dorothy Foundation has a lot of resources to help adolescents to navigate, But for what it's worth, it's important to be nice, to be kind, especially to other people. Be the best quality of human being, because our shared humanity depends on it. So if you're a boy or a girl, do unto everybody what you want God to do to you.
Amen.
Okay, so thank you guys for listening and learning and being in this conversation with us. And I hope you learn as much as I did, and learn to love your body and understand the growth and know what you're supposed to do and what not to. Like sex, for example, when the age appropriate time. Thank you. Stay tuned to the next episode and like and subscribe. Bye.
Bye.